สวัสดีครับท่านผู้ชมครับในยุคสมัยนี้สตรีให้ความสนใจกับเรื่องของความงามไม่เพียงเรื่องของการแต่งหน้าหรือว่าเลือกเครื่องแต่งกายให้เหมาะสมกับยุคสมัยเท่านั้นนะครับแต่ว่ารวมไปถึงการดูแลผิวพรรณให้ดูดีอ่อนเยาว์และเป็นธรรมชาติอีกด้วยวันนี้แขกรับเชิญของเราจะมาพูดคุยกับเราในเรื่องนี้นะครับท่านเป็นผู้เชี่ยวชาญเป็นนักวิทยาศาสตร์ที่มีชื่อเสียงและได้ประพันธ์หนังสือชื่อว่า The Aging Myth นะครับซึ่งเป็นหนังสือที่เป็นที่สนใจไปทั่วโลกครับนั่นคือดร.โจเซฟ ไวท์แชงท่านเป็นหัวหน้าเจ้าหน้าที่วิทยาศาสตร์และรองประธานกรรมการบริหารฝ่ายพัฒนาผลิตภัณฑ์ครับ Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Dr. Yang.
First of all, let me ask you about the H-Lock innovation. What is it?
Yes. Well, H-Lock is a new technology that we sort of developed among our company scientists. It's really focused on trying to understand how genes can affect the aging process. Mm-hmm. So it's almost, you can call it, it's kind of a new type of gene technology that we use to understand the aging process in the body.
Mm. So, in brief, what are the causes of the aging process?
Yes, and again, from many, many years of scientific research, we and other scientists in the United States, we are beginning to understand that the aging process is very much related to these sources of aging that are actually located at the genetic level. Mm-hmm. You know, in 2003, for example, the whole world got together and all the global scientists spent a lot, more than 6 years, to sequence and to identify all the genes that control the body function. And they've discovered there are roughly around 25,000 genes that control all the body functions in the body. So we are now using the map to identify those genes that are specifically related to the control of the aging process. And those are the genes that we call the sources of aging in the body.
Mm-hmm. From your study that you have conducted, what have you found about this gene expression that can cause the aging?
Well, what we have found is, in fact, you know, throughout many cultures, most likely also in Thailand, when we were young, we hear stories of people trying to look for this fountain of youth. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's very popular. Maybe in the Thai language, you would be calling it another name, but everybody is like looking for this mystical fountain of youth. Well, I think all of these people in the past, they have been looking at the wrong places. In fact, this fountain of youth is actually in our body, and is actually those genes that I've been referring to that control the aging process that are the fountain of youth, you know. Mm-hmm. So, and we're beginning to understand now that although your mother and my mother gave me 50% of the genes, and your father and my father gave me the remaining 50% of the genes, and when we were born, and that makes our human body. But over time, we are beginning to understand now that many environmental factors and external factors affect how those genes behave. Mm-hmm. And if these environmental factors are not good, are negative, like pollution, mm-hmm.
Smoking habits,
you know, not eating right.
Okay. What are the ways that we can do this alteration in gene expression?
Yeah, well, one of the things we can do, we are looking at many natural ingredients, for example, and one of the most interesting natural ingredients we're looking at currently is a traditional Chinese herb that is called cordyceps.
Cordyceps.
Yes, and the scientific name is Cordyceps sinensis, and we are finding that long time ago the Chinese were right, that this particular herb provides a lot of anti-aging benefits to the body. Mm-hmm. The difference is, 1,000 years ago, the Chinese didn't know how it acts. Now we know by testing that cordyceps, for example, yep. We are finding it affects many, many anti-aging related genes. Mm-hmm. And they restore the function of these genes, if you will. Mm-hmm. And our H-Lock technology gives us the ability and all the scientific tools to look at this particular genetic effect.
Okay. So these particular herbs, cordyceps, how do human beings take that and cause some benefits in terms of the anti-aging?
Well, one of the most important things with natural herbs is that you have to take the right dose, mm-hmm. if you will. And sometimes when you use the natural cordyceps and you use it in soups or in the foods that Chinese people eat, mm-hmm.
You
cannot control the dose. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Now, there's another study that you have been involved with to do with the food intake, the calories. How does that relate to the aging process?
That's an important. I'm glad you asked that because our research is also beginning to show that the less calories you take into your body, the better it is for the body to stay young. Yes, and this is a new type of science now that is known as caloric restriction. In other words, you'll be eating about 30% less calories than a normal person would be eating. And if you keep that over time, it's many of the studies, especially in animals, and actually there's a monkey study that's going on for the last 30 years in the United States that shows that these monkeys live far longer than another set of monkeys that are not eating this caloric restricted diet. So it's very interesting, and we are using that kind of studies to ask a question: why is it happening? And once again, we are finding there are many genes in the body that are behaving differently under caloric restriction.
So, in brief, how would you suggest to the viewers at the moment to rejuvenate their skin, their response to life, become more active, more energized?
Yes. I think there are many ways of maintaining what I call healthy aging, you know, to live better longer. And one of the most important things, I think, is to eat the proper foods. You know, it's not to eat calories, but to eat those foods that are good for you. And I think the most important types of foods you should be eating would be fruits and vegetables. And in Thailand especially, I think you have available to you so many different kinds of delicious fruits that just choose the most colorful ones and to eat that as much as you can and eat less carbohydrates. That would be a good way of having healthy aging. Another way is I'm hoping people don't smoke as much. That's another very important and significant factor to help you stay young longer as you get older. And the other things would be, I think everybody understands it, is to have a bit more exercise, and that is also good. And finally, to get some sleep. I think that's also important. People don't realize that sleep is a very important aspect of aging, of healthy aging, because your body can only heal itself while you're sleeping. So those are some of the tips I think people can adopt.
Thank you.
Okay.
ครับเป็นเรื่องราวที่น่าสนใจและน่าจะเป็นประโยชน์อย่างยิ่งสำหรับท่านผู้ชมทุกท่านในเรื่องของการดูแลสุขภาพอนามัยและการดูแลผิวพรรณนะครับต้านความชราครับสำหรับรายการในวันนี้ขอบพระคุณดร.โจเซฟ วายแชงหัวหน้าเจ้าหน้าที่วิทยาศาสตร์และรองประธานกรรมการบริหารฝ่ายพัฒนาผลิตภัณฑ์เป็นอย่างยิ่งครับ Thank you very much.
Thank you.